Okay, in this video we are going to go over how to do a new Cash Trader bonus contract. We also have packages and one-sheets in the system, and I'll show you how to do that in the next videos here. But the Cash Trader bonus contracts are nice because the rates are already approved for your by your manager, so you don't need to take it to your manager to get it approved. And another nice thing is that the math is always perfect. You're never going to have a fight with traffic again. Now, depending on your rights, you may have more rights than others to do. You might or might not be able to do a trade contract, a bonus, or an actual custom rate. For you managers, of course, you'll have the rights to do that. But let's go ahead and begin here by clicking on New Contract. I'm logged in as a manager, so I need to actually select the team that I want to sell here, and then also the employee. So I'm going to go ahead and select myself for now, and then I'm going to select my customer. Reps, all you're going to have to do is select your customer. Okay, so I'll just select the first one on here. Now I'm going to name the contract. I'm just going to call it something generic, but I do encourage you to use something specific to the contract. Again, as you start building these contracts out and using the system a lot, you're going to have a bunch of contracts in the system, and you're going to want to be able to find those by name. Select the contract type, Cash Trader bonus, package, one sheet, or incremental. So we're going to go over packages and one sheets in another video. Incremental is very rarely used, but we will go over that in probably the one sheet video. But for now, we're going to do Cash Trader bonus. Click on this, add a contract line item, green button there, click on it, and it's going to add our first line for us. Now, we can name these whatever we want. Each line can have its own name, but I'm going to say Summer Special 2018. But you can call it whatever you want. On the line items, though, when you go to print these, it's going to have the name of the line, but it's also going to put this information up here, day parts and the run dates. Now, you can choose your times that it runs. Now, these are customizable by your manager, so if you have an oddball spot that's that you sell that's 8 seconds long, your managers can put those in there. But we're going to stick with the good old 30-second spot. Now it's asking me, is this a cash, trade, bonus, or custom rate? Now, if you don't see trade, bonus, or custom, you're going to need to talk to your manager about that, whether they want to allow you to have that option or not. For now, we're going to leave it on cash. And we're going to start the run dates on this. Let's say it starts on the 1st of February, and then it goes out until, let's say, April 30th. Now I want to show you something really cool here. This auto button here. This automatically calculates the end date from the start date, and we could set that to days or weeks. So every once in a while you get a crazy contract that you got to figure out that it ends in 87 days. So you can actually put 87 in there and hit set end. And then now it calculates exactly 87 days from the 1st of February. You can also set that to weeks too. So if you want to do 52 weeks, it automatically calculates it for you. But you do not have to use that. You can just click in here and set your date. Now, we have the option to do day part. Maybe it's a show that they're sponsoring, or maybe it's a custom time where you can literally put in the exact times that you want those ads to run. On the shows, if you click on shows and you're not seeing your shows in there, that's because your manager didn't add them in the system. Again, you'll want to talk to your manager. And if anybody ever needs any help, they can contact us on our chat support down here on the left. And we take a lot of pride in that. Don't ever bang your head on the desk. Get a hold of us. You can either click on that and talk to us, or you can call us. Our 1-800 number is right there as well. Now, I'm going to choose my day part. I'm going to say this is a morning drive. And these, by the way, these are customizable too by your manager. So if there's a day part in there that you're not seeing that you need to see, talk to your manager and it can be added. So now I'm going to choose how many ads on each day. So I'm going to do 1 ad a day. And then what stations does it run on? Now if I click on all stations, it adds all the stations for my group. Or I can just select one at a time. Now, if you go to add your stations and you're not seeing some in there, that's because your manager has either turned them off or they don't want you to sell it, but there's a reason why. But it's just a matter of either getting a hold of us, talking to your manager, and we'll figure out why you're not seeing the stations that you should be seeing. So for now, I'm going to do KZUL. Now before I hit save on this and calculate this, I want to show you something kind of cool. Advanced options here. Here's my run skip options. This is for when you have those clients that say, hey, run my ad 1 week and then have it skip every other week. So that'd be a 1-1. Or have my ads run 3 weeks and skip 2 weeks. You can do any variable that you want there. I should say ratio. Anyways, so a 1-0 is just a continuous run, and that's what it defaults to. And now we're going to hit save. And it's going to do a calculation based on the rates that your manager put in the system. They're already approved. You're good to go. So this is running for 13 weeks, 87 cash ads for a total of 87 ads. The rate they're going to pay is $18.45 per ad. It triggered a little bit of a discount there. And the total for that contract is $1,600. Now, if we come down here, we have the option to put in some notes. So if I just put the notes in there and I submit it like this, only the manager will see those notes. But every once in a while, you want the customer to actually see the notes. And you'll see print notes on contract. Put that to yes, then anything you put in there will actually show up on the contract. Obviously, be careful what you put in there. And then additional options. You can set this to broadcast billing or not, whether it's net or gross or not. Custom multiplier. Now this is real handy for a few options. Maybe you want to give the local charity 50% off. Well, let's just say 20% off. Then you would put 80% in there and hit recalculate. It would give them that 20% discount. Then you can say whether it's a co-op or not. And then last, you can actually upload some files. Typically, you wouldn't use this as you're building the contract. You may. Maybe you want to upload the instructions from the agency so it's always attached to that contract. But typically, you would go out and get the contract signed. Once you got it signed, you would scan it and then upload it there. And then it's always attached to that, so you never have to go searching for it in the future. It's always attached to that client forever and ever. So now that we got this kind of built out how we want, I have a few different options: weekly, monthly, or summary. So this is actually going to break their schedule down per week, what they're paying per week and what their schedule is, or by month, or by summary. The weekly is nice if you're competing against the local newspaper and you want to pull that business away from the newspaper, because the newspaper charges by week. You can do that. I personally like the monthly, so I'm going to click on this, and it's going to open up a new tab in the top of Chrome, and that's going to be up here. For those of you that aren't familiar with tabs, that's what these are. You can actually have multiple instances of Google Chrome at once, and that's real handy too. A lot of people at our station anyways will have one tab open with their contracts, another tab open with their contact list, and another tab open with their calendar. That way they don't have to close out of anything to get to those parts of the system. So, but I'm going to say a monthly. Click on that, and now it's going to build our contract out for us. It takes it a second, and actually has to recalculate again. I know it sounds crazy, but it does actually recalculate again. But here it is. Here's our contract, and it does center nicely on the piece of paper, so don't let this bother you. When we go to print it, it will look nice. So how do we print this? Well, we click on the old school floppy disk, and at the top here, and we have a few different options. Okay, PDFs look the best by quite a bit, but some people actually like other ways of formats of printing, so it's up to you, and you may want to check out the different versions, but PDF typically looks the best. So I'm going to click on that, and now it's going to make a downloadable PDF here, and when we click and open that, and there it is. As you can see, it's nice and neat, and we can hit print, and then we can print that. Now I'm going to go into a couple tricks on why SmartRate was built, and the idea behind SmartRate is that you get longer, deeper buys. You get people to commit to more annual contracts, and we want annual contracts. We don't want to go back begging for money every month. We want to get them to commit to a year, and the more they buy, the longer they buy, the deeper they buy, the bigger the discount they get. Okay? So before we add another line item, I want to show you that you can duplicate these line items. So if you just want to change the day part or the station, just a few details changed, you can duplicate it with this button here. Little two pieces of paper that look identical. And you can also delete line items, of course, as well. Alright? So I'm going to go ahead and add another line item. Now this is line 2. Now I can call this whatever I want. Let's just say fun in the sun. Whatever. Again, choose your spot length. You can choose cash, trade, bonus, or custom. Again, with the run dates. Day part, show, or custom time again. And then again, we have our day parts here. So I'm going to choose morning drive. Now, you know what? I'm going to do midday this time. I'm going to do 2 ads a day. And I'm going to do it on the same station, but obviously it's a different day part. Okay? And then I'm going to hit save. Now, the longer these contracts are, the more details you have in them, the longer it'll take to calculate. So if you have a year-long contract with a bunch of different lines, it can take up to about 15 seconds to calculate, but it's probably a lot faster than you can do in your head or on paper. So if you recall, our rate was at $18 and something and change before. Now we're down to $16 because they bought more. So you may go to some of our reps actually take their computers in with them and work on the contract right in front of them, because the client goes, geez, $16, that's a lot. So what you got to do is get them to buy more. So people actually listen more on the weekends to the radio. So I'm going to have you buy 5 ads on Saturday and Sunday from me on both day parts. Okay? Now, I'm also going to get you to buy my oldie station. I know you buy my competitor station, but if you buy mine, I can give you a great discount. So I'm going to go to KFTT and do the same on this one, KFTT. And also, a few months, radio works with frequency. You really got to get the word out there by running as many ads as possible. So I'm going to convince you to do a 52-week contract with me. Set the end on that. I'm going to do the same with the second one. And now I'm going to hit save. Now our rate here is $16. It should come down quite a bit because now they're buying a year from us. They're buying more ads on the weekends. And we'll see what our rate is here. Now we're at $9.47. But we're getting a heck of a lot bigger buy. Instead of $4,000, we're now getting almost $35,000. Triggered a big discount for them too. Now again, I can come down here and set my additional options. And then I can print that off. But before I take this out, I'm asking for a pretty big buy here. So I'm going to go to my manager. And again, as long as I have the rights to do so, I'm going to ask him if I can do a bonus for this client because they're spending $34,000. And let's say that the manager said yes. Now I'm going to add a contract line item. And I'm going to set it to bonus. Again, start dates. Start on February 1st. End dates. And then since it is a bonus, I'm going to put it on the 24-hour day part so we don't put any stress on the inventory. And then I'd probably choose my slower station, which is KFTT. Now I'm going to hit save again. Again, the longer these contracts are, the longer it'll take to calculate, but it's still pretty darn quick. And now we're going to have a bonus line over here on the right. So now we got a $453 bonus. Okay? So that's the general idea behind SmartRate. Get them to buy longer, deeper contracts. The longer and deeper they buy, the bigger discount they're going to get. So you can mess around with all these day parts and whatnot and try to get the best rate for them. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, well, how are these rates calculated? Well, they're calculated by a lot of different variables, or what we call multipliers. You can see here this blue line that says View Multipliers. If we click on that, that's going to tell us all the information we need to know. So we'll stay concentrated on KZUL for now. The base rate is $26.50. So the way to think about the base rate is that's if someone were to come to you and say, I just want to buy one ad on Tuesday. Okay, it's $26.50. Now this multiplier here, basically it's a 10% discount overall. While it's relevant, just kind of think of it that they're getting 10% off that $26.50 off the bat. Now on Mondays, there's a 19% discount or sorry, 29% discount. 19% discount on Tuesdays, 13% on Wednesdays, and so on. So you can see where you can get discounts by days of the week. On Saturday and Sunday, there's a big discount. Now, LOC stands for length of contract. You may want to write that down. 13 weeks is a 5% discount. 26 weeks is a 20% discount. 52 weeks, 25% discount. And then down below, we have all our other stations here. Now there's some more things that are calculated, some more multipliers. Now, length of contract, so LOC, counts only weeks with ads in them. So weeks that don't have ads, they don't count. So if you put it at 52 weeks and you have a run skip on one of those, to where you have it, the ads run 1 week and skip 1 week, it's not going to count as 52 weeks. It's going to only count as 26 weeks. Now we got ad blocks, discount settings. So these are chunks of ads that people buy at a time. So it doesn't matter what station they buy on, what day part, none of that matters. It just matters that in total they buy this amount of ads. So we're saying here, if they buy 100 ads, so that's one block, they'll get a 4% discount for a maximum up to 4 blocks. And then for a max of 16% off. And that's set per week. Now your managers could set that per week, per month, and per contract as well. So basically, if they buy 400 ads in a week, they're going to get 16% off. Multipliers, custom day part multipliers. There's a premium there. So on the contract up above here, on the line item, if you would have chose custom and put in your own type, own time, there is going to be a 125% premium. Now that's, again, all these rates you're looking at is what our stations have. You guys will have different rates and different multipliers. Now down below that we have our day parts, overnights, really cheap. It's 75% off. So that would work real good for your Motel 6s or your Motel 8s. They don't care when people hear the ads as long as they're driving through town and they need a hotel. And as you can see, all these other ones down here too. Now, one thing to remember, these numbers can go both ways. You can see on the morning drive, there's a 15% premium because we're at 115%. 6 a.m. to 7 p., 125% premium. Now, we only have one show at our stations. This is the Think America show, and it looks like it is 100%. Okay. Now, in order to get this all to fit, we had to squeeze things in here. As soon as we get over here, it's a different multiplier. All right. So this is length of ad that they're buying. So everything here to here is your shows, and you'll have a list of all your shows. Length here is your actual spot lengths. So your 10-second spots, 15, 30, 60, and so on. So that's how the rates are calculated based on when you do a cash contract there. And you also are doing day parts, of course. Well, I'm sorry, and you are also doing shows and custom times / remotes. But those are only based off those few multipliers we saw there. The whole big picture here is get them to buy more, the bigger discount they can get. We could probably get this rate even lower if we added some more ads in here. Now, view station rates. This allows you to see what each station rate is. As you can see here, we added 2 stations. Our bonus line was actually KFTT. Actually, you know what? We put KFTT in our other line too. But you can see what they're paying per spot on that particular station. And when you combine all these, the 1193 and the 701 per ad, and you divide it by how many ads they're paying, this is the actual blended rate that you're getting. So that's how the blended rate works. Now, if you're a manager, you can actually edit these rates without having to do it line by line. If you want to do it line by line, you do the custom rate there. Okay? But if you're a manager, you may want to set the rates for that entire station on this entire contract. That way you don't have to go line by line and set the rate. for the custom rate. You can edit it right there. Here we have our station totals. You can see what station's running, the description, the ads, the spot rate that they're paying, and the totals on each. And here's our bonus down here. Now, we can always save these as a draft, so maybe I'm not quite ready yet, or maybe I need to take this out, have it signed, and then bring it back and submit it. Or you can submit it beforehand. It's up to you how your radio station does business. But let's say you took it out and you got it signed. I would scan and upload it, say it is signed, and then submit it. Okay? So that's pretty much it on the cash trade bonus contracts. Really, that's all you really need to know. In the next videos, we'll go over trade and bonus on how those kind of work. And again, if you have any issues, get a hold of us down here with our chat support. It says leave a message. It's the weekend right now when I'm making this video. But again, if you call us or email us on the weekends, we will get back to you. We're support@influencefm.com. That's support@influencefm.com. During the weekdays, we're here from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. This chat system is probably the easiest way to get a hold of us, and we take a lot of pride in it, and we get back to you right away. We'll see you in the next video.